Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly felt every eye turn toward you? Without saying a single word? It's not your outfit. It's not your voice. It's something much deeper, far more powerful. This is no accident, chosen one. You carry a spiritual frequency that disrupts the atmosphere and demands attention without effort. People feel something when you're near, an energy they can't name but can't ignore. And that's because you're not just anyone. You are spiritually marked, divinely sealed, and cosmically aligned to a higher calling. The truth is, your very existence disturbs the illusions of this world. You are a mirror to the hidden, a walking contradiction to the superficial, and a reminder that there is more beyond what the eye can see. Your light is not just symbolic, it's energetic. And whether you realize it or not, it causes shifts in the spiritual field of others. This is why people stop and stare. This is why their spirits react to yours, because you awaken something ancient in them, something divine, something forgotten. Your aura is encoded with spiritual intelligence, and it speaks even when you're silent. In today's journey, we're going to uncover 9 strange yet deeply spiritual reasons why the world can't take its eyes off you. If you've been feeling misunderstood, stared at, or even spiritually stalked, there's a higher reason behind it. You're not crazy, you're awakened. And this video will reveal the power you carry that most people can't explain. If this message is already stirring something in your soul, comment below, "I am divine energy." And if you're ready to step fully into this awareness, hit that like button, subscribe, and activate notifications so you never miss another revelation sent straight to your spirit. You carry within you a spiritual light that cannot be dimmed, no matter how much darkness surrounds you. This light isn't just a metaphor. It's a vibrational force that emits from your very being. It shifts frequencies wherever you go. People may not understand why they feel suddenly calm, inspired, or even uncomfortable in your presence, but it's because your frequency confronts their lower vibrations. When you enter a room, the energy recalibrates. It's not ego, it's essence. You are a beacon, a torch in the spiritual realm. And those living in denial or disconnection can feel their illusions cracking just by standing near you. This magnetic presence you possess causes others to become acutely aware of their own spiritual stagnation. You don't need to speak. Your energy speaks for you. It stirs dormant parts of the soul in others, often triggering subconscious realizations. That's why people stare. They are trying to decode what their spirit already knows. There's something different about you. Your existence alone is a spiritual sermon, and they're listening without even knowing it. Your vibration reveals their wounds, their longing, and their forgotten dreams. This silent awakening is powerful, and most are completely unprepared for it. Your aura functions as a spiritual mirror. It reflects not only light, but also truth. In your presence, people are confronted with aspects of themselves they've been avoiding. This can make some drawn to you with reverence, while others react with jealousy, fear, or even hostility. But none of it is about you. It's about what they see in themselves when your spirit enters the scene. You trigger transformation, even when you don't intend to. It's part of your assignment. You were chosen not just to awaken, but to activate others into their own healing. And often, the first step toward healing is discomfort. Your silence speaks volumes. You may be quiet in a room full of noise, but your energy is thunderous. People look at you because they sense authority, not of man, but of spirit. You don't dominate by force. You influence by presence. You don't persuade with words. You convict with alignment. You are what people long to become: grounded, illuminated, unshakable. And whether they admire or resist you, they can't deny the pull. You're not a follower of energy. You are a generator of it. And this makes people both curious and intimidated, because you remind them that power doesn't come from status, but from inner truth. There's a peace that follows you, even in chaos. It's like the storm quiets just because you showed up, and people feel it. They may not say it, but they crave it. Your calm spirit is not passive. It's potent. It brings order where there was confusion. It brings light where there was tension. That peace isn't something you perform. It's who you are. It was forged through pain, refined by fire, and sealed by God. And now, those around you subconsciously seek refuge in your energy. Your presence becomes a safe harbor in a sea of emotional storms. And this is why so many feel magnetized to you. They are thirsty for the peace you carry. Your light doesn't only comfort others, it exposes what's hidden. And this is another reason all eyes are on you. Darkness can't remain hidden when the light shows up. People who live behind masks, illusions, and lies feel vulnerable when you walk in. It's not because you judge them, it's because your authenticity makes their falseness unbearable. The more you walk in truth, the more you become a catalyst for others to face their own. Some will love you for this. Others will resist you with everything they have. But know this, your light is a spiritual disinfectant. It doesn't destroy people. It heals them by revealing what must be cleansed. There's a spiritual elegance to the way you move through the world. Even when you're tired, broken, or doubting yourself, your soul still shines. And that shine is seen by more people than you know. You may feel invisible at times, but in reality, you are spiritually luminous. Heaven watches you. Earth watches you. And yes, even the enemy watches you. Because you are a carrier of something rare, divine awareness. You're not just seen, you're sensed. You stir things in the invisible realm, and it shows up in the natural. And that's why people stare. That's why they feel drawn. You are awakening something ancient that's been asleep in them for too long. The frequency you carry is not something learned. It's something inherited from the heavens. You came into this world with a spiritual code etched into your soul. This is why, even as a child, you may have felt different, too deep, or too sensitive. You weren't just imagining things. You were already vibrating at a higher level. And now, as you grow into your purpose, that frequency is becoming undeniable to those around you. People can't articulate it, but they feel it. They sense that you're not bound to this world in the way others are. Your energy reaches into the unseen, and that spiritual reach is what sets you apart. When you speak, something shifts in the room. Even if your words are few, they carry the weight of wisdom. This is because your voice isn't just sound. It's a spiritual instrument. It carries a vibration encoded with truth, and truth is magnetic. People may not always agree with what you say, but they can't ignore how deeply it resonates. That resonance pierces through superficiality, through the noise, through the distractions, and suddenly, your words begin awakening long-forgotten truths in others. You're not just a speaker, you're a revealer. Your mouth becomes a channel through which divine wisdom flows. Chosen one, your energy is an invitation and a challenge. For those seeking light, you are a safe haven. For those hiding from truth, you are a disruption. Either way, your presence creates movement. You are spiritually catalytic. You shift the atmosphere just by being there. And this is why people either cling to you or push you away, because transformation is rarely comfortable. But comfort was never your mission. Awakening was. And whether it's with kindness or confrontation, your soul has agreed to be the spark that breaks chains and opens eyes. You may have noticed that strangers often tell you their life stories or confess things without understanding why. That's not random. It's spiritual. Your energy feels like home to wandering souls. It feels safe to people who've never felt safe. And in that space of energetic safety, people feel free to release, to cry, to reveal. You are a vessel for healing. Not because you try to be, but because healing lives within you. Every wound you've endured, every heartbreak you've survived, has created space for others to heal through your presence. That's sacred. That's divine. That's why all eyes are on you. Animals and children are often drawn to you because they feel what many adults have forgotten how to sense: pure spirit. They don't need explanations or proof. They just know. Your energy carries no mask, no pretense. It is raw, honest, and comforting. You could walk past a stranger's dog or someone's baby, and without a word, they're locked onto you. That's not luck, that's light. Your field emits coherence, a vibrational order that aligns with the natural world. And in a chaotic world, that alignment stands out like a lighthouse in the dark. This attraction isn't always peaceful, though. Your light also draws in the broken, the manipulative, and the spiritually parasitic. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because your light reveals their lack. Energy vampires and covert agents of darkness often try to attach themselves to you, hoping to siphon what they cannot create. You may have noticed certain people only come around when they need something, or when they feel empty. That's because your aura feels like water to their thirsty soul. But you must learn spiritual boundaries. Not everyone who looks at you is meant to walk with you. Some are only there to test your discernment. You are both teacher and student in this life. Your journey is filled with lessons, initiations, and sacred trials. But through it all, your light becomes stronger, purer, and more refined. And that refinement is what people are seeing when they look at you. They're not seeing your style, they're seeing your scars. They're seeing your spiritual resume. Every stare, every curious glance is the universe acknowledging your growth. You're no longer who you were. You've become a lighthouse, not just through grace, but through fire. And now, the world sees the glow of someone who's been through darkness and made it back with light. Your presence carries a vibration that stretches across dimensions. You are not simply living in this physical world. You are simultaneously operating in the spiritual. That's why people feel something around you that they can't explain. Your eyes carry galaxies. Your voice holds ancient echoes. Your aura contains mysteries that even you haven't fully unlocked. People may be drawn to you for reasons they don't understand, but their soul recognizes your multidimensional frequency. You are a bridge between realms, a living intersection of heaven and earth. And when you walk into a space, even if you try to be invisible, your frequency arrives before your body does. It's not just presence, it's spiritual power, and it's undeniable. You're not only seen, you're remembered. People may forget your name, your voice, your appearance, but they never forget your energy. You imprint on the soul. You leave spiritual fingerprints on the hearts of those who encounter you. Even years later, people think of you randomly. But it's not random. It's resonance. The echo of your presence lingers in their energetic field, because you were sent into their lives as a divine interruption, a holy disruption. You came with answers they weren't ready to receive. And when you left, by choice or by force, they realized they had experienced something eternal in a temporary form. You weren't just another person passing by. You were a portal, a messenger, a divine alarm clock ringing through their illusions. And that's why they cannot stop thinking about you. Their soul remembers you, even if their ego pretends not to care. Remember, your spiritual power is not always loud. It's not in flashy miracles or dramatic encounters. It's in your peace, your silence, your discernment. It's in the way you know things without having to see them, in the way people are exposed just by standing in your presence. One of the strangest reasons all eyes are drawn to you is that your energy unlocks the subconscious of others. You may say something casual, something that seems small to you, but it pierces through someone else like a sword. Your very essence functions like a key, accessing places in the human heart that have long been locked away. That's why people sometimes look at you with awe, or confusion, or even tears in their eyes. Your presence activates memories, healing, and emotional breakthroughs without effort. You may never even know how deeply you impacted someone with just one conversation, or even a glance. But it happens, frequently, because the light in you reaches into shadows others forgot they carried. And when those shadows come to the surface, transformation begins. That's why your energy feels intense. It's sacred, it's catalytic, and it's not something people easily forget. Another reason you are so spiritually magnetic is because you are carrying ancient wisdom that surpasses your age, your education, or your earthly experience. This is not information you learned. It is truth your soul remembers. You are an old soul, chosen to return at this exact time to help awaken others. People often come to you for advice, or just want to be near you, even if they can't explain why. It's because your spiritual frequency carries echoes from other lifetimes, where you've already walked through fire, learned divine truths, and accessed higher realms of understanding. In this life, you're simply remembering, and every time you speak, that remembrance comes through. That's why your words hit so deeply. That's why your silence still teaches. And that's why people sense you've been here before, because you have. And your ancient soul is guiding many in this modern world. Your energy creates polarity. Some people feel instant peace around you, while others feel unsettled. This isn't about good or bad. It's about resonance. Those who are aligned with your frequency will feel drawn to your presence, experiencing healing, clarity, and peace. But those who are hiding, manipulating, or resisting truth will feel exposed. They may even dislike you without a clear reason. But it's not personal, it's spiritual. Your vibration makes them confront things they've spent years avoiding. And so they project, they push away, they gossip, they stare. But in reality, they're simply reacting to what your light is revealing in them. Do not shrink because of this. Do not dim your light to make others comfortable. You were never meant to blend in. You were born to stand out. And the world needs that light now more than ever. There is something unshakable about you, even in the midst of life's storms. People can feel that. They see how you carry yourself through trials. You may cry, you may bleed, but you do not break. You rise every single time, stronger, wiser, deeper. That resilience is spiritual gold, and people are drawn to that kind of power, even if they can't name it. You carry the evidence of survival. You walk like someone who has danced with darkness and come back with light. And that's because you have. The stares you get, the attention you receive, it's not always admiration. Sometimes it's spiritual recognition. Souls around you are sensing the warrior within, and they are either inspired or intimidated. But either way, they cannot look away. You radiate authenticity in a world addicted to performance. You are real. You are raw. You are rare. That's why people look at you. They are used to masks, to noise, to shallow conversations and false appearances. But you cut through all of that. You speak truth, even when it's uncomfortable. You hold silence, even when others are trying to provoke. You walk in integrity when the world is collapsing into compromise. And that authenticity is so unfamiliar to many that it feels like a miracle. Your presence restores faith. Your consistency builds trust. And your spirit reminds people of what is possible when someone chooses to live in alignment with truth. You are not a character in someone else's play. You are the author of your soul's script. And that sovereignty is revolutionary. One of the most extraordinary reasons all eyes are on you is because you are a carrier of sacred knowledge. Wisdom that is not found in books or schools, but in the soul. You carry keys to spiritual doors others don't even know exist. You speak truths that feel like prophecy. You sense things before they happen. You feel what others cannot say. This is because you are in tune with the divine, constantly receiving downloads from the unseen realms. People feel this when they're near you, and it stirs something ancient within them. They want to know what you know. They want to understand the source of your clarity. But what they may not realize is that your knowing came through pain, through trials, through surrender. You've walked through darkness not to be destroyed, but to return with truth. And now, you carry that truth like a living scroll, read by everyone who meets you. You often find yourself in the role of the silent observer, the one who sees everything, feels everything, yet says very little. But don't underestimate the spiritual power in that silence. While others talk, you perceive. While others react, you discern. Your inner world is rich and expansive, filled with revelations that most never access. And when you do speak, your words carry weight, because they are forged in stillness. That's why when you enter a conversation, people pause. When you share an insight, people remember. Your silence makes space for truth to rise, and people are drawn to that depth, even if it unsettles them. Because you don't just participate in life, you penetrate it, you see beneath the surface. You live in the layers most fear to touch. You are often misunderstood, not because you're unclear, but because your vibration speaks a language many haven't yet learned. You live in alignment with universal truths that some haven't even begun to question. You value solitude, inner peace, divine timing. You operate from spiritual laws, not societal ones. And this makes you feel foreign to the masses. But that feeling of being out of place is actually confirmation that you are walking in your divine assignment. Others may see you as strange, intense, or different, but what they are truly recognizing is the contrast between your spirit and their own conditioning. Don't shrink to fit their narrative. You weren't sent here to be understood. You were sent to awaken. And sometimes, that awakening begins with the way people look at you without knowing why. The reason people are drawn to you like moths to flame is because your spirit has already touched the fire and survived. You carry the aroma of resurrection. You've died and been reborn many times, spiritually speaking. Every layer you've shed, every betrayal you've endured, every heartbreak you've healed from has added another layer of glory to your being. And when people encounter you, they feel that glory, even if they don't know your story. That's why strangers feel safe telling you their secrets. That's why hurting souls feel seen in your presence. It's not about perfection. It's about your scars. Your scars are sacred. They speak a silent language of survival. And they say to the world, if I can make it through this, so can you. You naturally hold space for others, not just physically, but energetically. When someone sits next to you, they feel like they can finally breathe. When someone opens up to you, they feel heard on levels they didn't know existed. This isn't something you do. It's who you are. Your aura is like a sanctuary, a spiritual womb where healing, release, and restoration occur without force. You've cultivated this gift through your own inner work, your connection to God, and your willingness to feel deeply. And now, others feel safe in your field. They linger in your presence not because of your appearance, but because your soul feels like home. That is rare. That is sacred. And that is exactly why you are being watched, remembered, and sought after. There's a quiet boldness to you that people can't ignore. You don't have to shout to be heard. You don't have to demand attention to be seen. Your authority is spiritual, not social. And that's what confuses the world. They are used to power being loud, flashy, and self-centered. But your power is humble, subtle, and spirit-led. You move with intention. You speak with discernment. You live with integrity. And all of that sends a signal into the spiritual realm, a frequency that calls to those who are searching for truth. This is why people seem to randomly find you, why they accidentally hear your voice. Because spiritually, they've been seeking what your soul carries. You've probably noticed that when you're around others, old wounds begin to surface, not just for you, but for them. This is not a curse. It's a sacred function of your light. Your energy reveals what is hidden. Your vibration stirs up what has been buried. And sometimes people associate that discomfort with you, not realizing that their soul is simply responding to the truth in your field. It's like turning on the light in a dusty room. Suddenly, everything that was hidden becomes visible. You didn't create the dust, you just revealed it. And that is why people can't stop looking at you, even when they try. Because your light forces them to see themselves, to reflect, to grow. You are a revealer, a walking awakening. And that kind of presence can never be ignored. Your divine presence doesn't just shift individual hearts. It influences entire atmospheres. When you walk into a space, something sacred follows you. Conversations shift, energy settles, tension dissolves. People suddenly feel the urge to reflect, to speak from the heart, to be real. You didn't say a word, but your spirit did. This is the kind of influence that can't be taught or faked. It comes from alignment with the divine, from the sacred relationship you've built with spirit in silence and solitude. Your aura is anointed. It is a field of divine order that reestablishes harmony wherever it goes. That's why even those who don't believe in spiritual things still feel changed after being near you. The soul knows what the mind cannot comprehend. You often wonder why certain people keep returning to your life, even after long periods of silence. Why they seem fascinated by your presence, or even obsessed with your energy. It's because your spirit is unforgettable. When someone encounters your soul, it marks them. Not in a possessive way, but in a transformational one. They experienced something sacred through you, something rare, and now their soul longs to reconnect with that frequency. Even if their ego resists it, their spirit remembers. They may try to replicate it in others, but nothing compares. You are not easily replaced because your essence is not duplicated. You are a spiritual original, designed for divine impact, and that impact lingers in ways even you don't fully realize. You are divinely protected, and people can feel that too. There's a shield around you that most can't see, but many can sense. This protection comes not only from your prayers, but from your purpose. When God chooses someone for a sacred mission, He surrounds them with heavenly armor. That's why certain attacks never reached you, why certain people couldn't break you, why some situations mysteriously turned in your favor. And people watching from the outside take notice. They don't understand how you keep rising, how you keep shining, how you keep standing. But it's because you are wrapped in divine covering. And that spiritual protection becomes another reason people watch you in awe. And sometimes, in envy. Your intuition is sharper than most. You often know things before they happen. You feel the shift before it arrives. You hear the lie inside the truth. This is not paranoia. It's discernment. A spiritual gift placed within you for your protection and your purpose. People stare because you read the room without trying. You sense the energy behind words. You see what others miss. And while this gift may feel heavy at times, it is part of what makes you powerful. Others are drawn to your clarity. They come to you when they're confused, broken, or lost, because your insight gives them light. But remember, your gift was not given to be drained. It was given to be stewarded. Use it with wisdom. Guard it with prayer. Honor it with boundaries. You are a lighthouse, and lighthouses are not built for crowds. They are placed in isolation so their light can reach far. You may have endured loneliness, seasons of separation, or long stretches of not being understood, but none of it was in vain. Your solitude was sacred. It was a time of spiritual refinement, a place where God could speak without interruption. And now, because of that season, your light reaches farther than ever before. People see you from afar and feel something stir within them. Even those who don't know you are impacted by your presence. Because lighthouses don't chase ships, they stand tall and let the lost find them. That's you, a beacon in the dark, a signpost for those searching for home. You've been through too much to pretend. That's what makes you different. You don't fake joy. You fought for it. You don't wear peace like an accessory. You earned it through deep spiritual warfare. And now, people feel the weight of your authenticity. It's not just in your words. It's in your walk. You carry the authority of someone who survived what others didn't. And that's why people respect you. Even when they don't understand you, you don't need approval. You walk with divine validation. And that kind of spiritual confidence is electric. It draws people in. It awakens courage in others. It reminds them that they too can rise, that they too can heal, that they too are worthy of transformation. Your life is not random. It is prophetic. Every struggle, every victory, every delay, and every acceleration has been part of a divine pattern. People watch you not just because of who you are, but because of what your life reveals. You are a living testimony, a walking scripture, a modern-day parable unfolding in real time. And without realizing it, people look to you to understand their own journey. You're not just an individual, you are an example. And with that role comes both reverence and responsibility. But never forget, you were chosen for this, anointed for this, equipped for this, and heaven is backing every step you take. Total de parágrafos entregues até agora, 38 de 43. Faltam 5 parágrafos. You were never meant to blend into the noise. You were created to be a sound of truth in a world of confusion. That's why all eyes are on you. You carry a vibration that pierces through spiritual amnesia. You remind people of who they are, of what they've forgotten, of what they buried. And even though this journey is not easy, it is sacred. You are a mirror, a messenger, a spiritual lighthouse. And the fact that people stare, question, admire, or even resist you is evidence that your light is doing its work. Don't let the stares shake you. Let them confirm you. The fact that you're noticed in silence means your soul is speaking loudly. And that voice, your voice, was sent by God to awaken nations. You were chosen for such a time as this. Your presence is not random. Your awakening was not accidental. You've walked through fire and did not burn. You've been buried, but bloomed anyway. And now, you shine with the kind of glory only forged through spiritual trials. People watch you because they're looking for what's real. And you are real. You are the evidence that truth still exists, that love is still possible, that healing is still accessible. Don't underestimate the power of just being who you are, because in a world full of masks, your authenticity is the most powerful form of ministry. And those watching you? Some are waiting for permission to be themselves too, and your courage is giving it to them. If this message touched something deep inside you, write in the comments, "I am walking in my divine light." Declare it, own it. Affirm to the universe and to yourself that you are no longer hiding. And if you haven't already, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you never miss another transmission of truth, designed to uplift your spirit and align you with your higher calling. This is more than a channel. It's a spiritual movement, and your presence here is no accident. You are family. I also want to give a heartfelt thanks to every beautiful soul who has supported us through Buy Me a Coffee. Your generosity keeps this light shining brighter every day. You help us reach more chosen ones around the world and bring deeper healing through each video. If you feel called to support this mission and help us grow, the link is in the first pinned comment. Your support means the world and allows us to continue creating sacred space for all who are awakening. Thank you for being part of this divine unfolding. Before you go, make sure to watch the video appearing on your screen right now. It will take you even deeper into the signs that you are a chosen one on a powerful spiritual mission. Until next time, stay radiant, stay grounded, and never forget, you are not alone.